Welcome to Inner Alchemy. We're back. I'm looking forward to just kicking it, sharing some stuff with you guys. This episode's gonna be different though, because I'm not gonna really have anything planned to talk about. This one here is just vibing and like me touching on just a few things, as I go about my day and like the stuff that I'm doing. The first thing, that I kind of wanted to touch on a little bit was just kind of like relationships and, share some ideas about relationships and then share a few ideas also about some other things. So before I even talk about relationships, I wanted to touch on just relationships with friends in general, just the people around you, just your environment. And I'm just seeing that, there are so many people that, act like they want to change, or who think that they want to change, or who think that they want something more in their experience, but there's such a issue there in the sense that they really don't want to. And that's the first thing I want to just talk to you all about. Whether it's you personally that may be wanting a change but you're wondering why it's not happening, or you're kind of tiptoeing with the change but nothing is really broken through, you know what I mean? Or if you have friends that are hanging out with you that act like they want more, but every time they come around you, y'all are doing the same thing. How do you expect to have different results if you're doing the same actions every day? We all know the same actions produce the same results. The only way you can produce a different result in your life, the only way you could change an outcome in your life, is if you change an action that you're taking daily. So the people that are around you, if you're wanting to level up, if you're wanting to reach a certain level, if you're wanting to climb to a new plateau, and the people around you are coming to hang out and they're on the same wave, you got to take this serious. Because these people on a frequency level are holding you down, straight up. And a lot of the time, separating really does benefit your friends, because by you getting away from that and being able to work on yourself and put your energy and attention on yourself and on your projects, because where attention goes, energy flows. You all don't have any energy into your projects enough because your attention isn't there enough. So it's not gonna grow enough. Your attention is talking about some BS with your friends that surround you, wanting to hang out and kick it. And for some of you whose friends, you might have friends that are successful, you might have friends that are doing pretty well on a certain level, but what if you want more? Or what if your friends are in the corporate game? They're making money in the corporate world, but you're trying to make money as an entrepreneur. Their energy is corporate job energy. It's not entrepreneur energy. You need to be around entrepreneurial energy so you can grow in entrepreneurship. So it's about understanding the people who come around you in that alignment. It's like, do they really want to grow? Do you really want to grow? So let me just bring it back to you now. Do you really want to grow? Do you really want that thing that you think you want? It could be health, it could be wealth, it could be success, it can be dating. It might be a woman that you really want, a man that you really want, hypothetically, it could be a relationship that you desire. I see a lot of people who post on Facebook groups and Instagram those little pictures where it'd be a guy and a girl, they get a snapshot of them in a really good moment where they laughing and hugging and they're like, I just want my boo, or I just want to have a relationship like this, them 90s movies. You get a picture of the Love Jones or some shit, and you're like, I just want something like this, but you just took a snapshot of a moment. If you really want that experience, what are you doing to get that experience? And a really good example is, a lot of you and a lot of the people out there, for example, have known that I've done coaching for a long time. I've been doing this for about 6 years now, and I have people around me who know what I've been doing, who know that I've been growing, and who know themselves that they want to grow. But yet, every time we're around each other, there's never any conversations to really develop. Or there's people who know me that need coaching who never reached out to get coaching, or who don't want to spend that money. They're afraid to spend that money. But then they're spending money on everything, on rent, on cars notes, on gas. You're paying for all this crap that's going to keep you where you are. You're paying something to pay it again next month. Everyone's willing to pay for stuff that they paid for. Like, everyone's willing to invest in stuff that's keeping them a slave, but they don't want to invest in stuff that will break them free from slavery. So people talk like they want to change. People that hang out with you, but then when you really want to, like, hey, do you want to go put up 100 and match me so we can do something? Oh wait, I don't really got it. They don't have it, but they'll spend money on leisure that you don't know about, or they make sure to get their drink, or they make sure to, for people who smoke, they gonna get their smoke. Or you have guys that smoke cigarettes, or people who smoke cigarettes all day, but then they don't want to invest in themselves to grow. But them cigarettes add up to about maybe 30, 50, $100 a month. So you begin to realize that your fear to invest in your growth is going to keep you just investing in your slavery. You're going to invest either way. That's what people don't know. You're going to pay somebody. You're going to pay for your burgers. You're going to pay for your fries. You're going to pay for your cholesterol, your high cholesterol. You're going to pay for your slave job, if for a lot of people who are in these kind of jobs. You're going to pay for, you might invest in, that's another thing that's big. People invest in the wrong people. There's people who have really good quality friends, but treat them like, they're whatever. They're just there. But then they'll meet somebody, or they'll be chasing somebody who is treating them like crap. But then they're willing to put more into them. Or they'll have a friend around them building an entrepreneurship. And then they'll say, okay, that's cool that he's doing that. But then there'll be somebody else that they don't know that seems to be at a higher plateau. And they'll invest in that dude they don't even know before they'll invest in their own friend. Because in their eyes, whether they know it or not, that person has more value than their friend. They've seen their friend too many times. Familiarity breeds contempt, which means that whoever you're familiar with, you have a lower sense of appreciation for them. One big technique that a lot of you guys should do, that I came up with, that's very powerful, is it's called the remember technique, and re-member. And what it does is, I want you to remember when you first met your really good friends, or when you first met your girlfriend or your husband or your boyfriend or your wife, or people you're really cool with. What you'll find out is when you first met them, they seemed dope as hell. Like, they seemed really cool. They might have been they had something about them that was like, damn, that person's kind of cool. And same thing with you. They saw you and was like, something about you is cool. And that mystery garnered this appreciation for that person. And then you'll notice time goes by and this person is just like, you're just there. The same girl that was the most beautiful thing to you, you were talking to your friends trying to figure out how to get her. And now you have her and you sitting here treating her like she's nothing. You're forgetting how valuable that person is. And what you're missing when you don't understand this technique is that other people who don't know her the same way you know her have that same effect when they see her for the first time. Same thing with your friends. You think your friend's whatever because I already know him. I already know he makes music. I already know he does that. But there's somebody else that's like, oh snap, you make music? Oh wow. Like, they realize, like, damn, that's a valuable person. You see? So what's going on now is the people closest to you are actually valuing you the least. And the people who don't know you are a lot of the time are able to see your value in a better light. So how do we straighten this out? How do we, get into a situation where we can correct this situation, or we can give value to the right people that deserve it? I know so many people who chase girls that are so toxic. And I know so many women who chase men that are so toxic. And yet, in every situation, I guarantee you, there's always somebody around that man or girl that is healthy for them, but that they don't even see as an option because they're too busy caught up in this toxic person's BS, caught up in this karmic cord of chaos. Okay? So that's something that I've seen with a lot of people with so much with good hearts, with a lot of power, because they're so good, because they're so powerful, people just totally miss their value. And that has caused that has helped crumble society. That is why society is not at the level it should be. Because you and me and us can't recognize true value because we're caught up looking at BS. Think about that. If someone doesn't see your value and you know you have that value, or maybe you don't, so I'm here to tell you, you do have that value. You just got to remember, reconnect with you and what you're about. I'm a musician. I don't need a label to validate whether my album is worth some money. I know I'm better than 99% of these dudes making music for these damn labels. But I don't need a label to validate me because I know what my music's worth. That is the mentality of 2020 and beyond. If you don't think like that from this point forward, you'll never be able to reach your potential, and the people around you will take your potential for granted. I'm not going to let them take my potential for granted. If you think I'm not worth what I know I'm worth, then we're not talking. I'm not going to be around nobody doing that crap. Why do I say that? This is big. This is something that we all experience. The a-hole is the one that's getting a lot of the respect. But the one who's really good is getting treated like crap. That's dead. Here. If you're watching me, that's dead. Let everybody else destroy themselves and chase people who don't give a crap about them. If you're a part of my tribe, I care about you, and I expect you to care about me. If you don't give me the value that I see in you, then we're not on the same page. I pull my value away. You don't deserve it. They don't deserve your value. That's what I'm saying. So, we need to begin to understand and put the power back in the proper hands. We've been given the power to these lower level people who can't even perceive things at our level. They don't have the intelligence we have. They don't have the heart that we have. They don't have the skills that we have. But they walking around talking to us like we're under them. You got me confused. I ain't under nobody. Okay? We meet eye to eye. We build each other up. I ain't under none of y'all. And none of y'all are up under me. Y'all ain't under me. And y'all ain't under nobody else. I don't have a boss. Don't call these people your boss. They're your manager. But your manager needs you just as much as you need your manager. Because if he don't show up to work, he's messed up now. Don't let these people play you. If you resonated, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So, this relates all the way around. Let's take it back to relationships. We're in these relationships and there's different dynamics that come into play. And so just to give a tip to people in relationships, that remember technique is really big because you need to remember how beautiful your girl is. And your girl needs to remember how dope you are. And if that's being missed because of what's going on, we got to regroup. The big aspect of a relationship is, a lot of the time in relationships, you all are together sleeping in the same bed. But mentally, they're in Pluto and you're in Brazil. Like, y'all are completely gone. Like, y'all are in two different worlds. So even though your bodies next to each other, it doesn't matter. Y'all aren't next to each other. Mm-hmm. Then there's people who are in Brazil and the other person's in Miami, but mentally it's like cling. They call each other, baby, I was thinking the same thing. I can't wait. Because mentally they there, So it's natural in a relationship for things to shift around and for people to be on different pages. Like that happens. Like that's a part of meeting and connecting and trying to reach the same medium. That's part of a relationship. That's the growth. But begin to, realize that you can't keep pushing this relationship forward. And if your person's not keeping up with you, you two have to be moving together or else you guys are going to be too far apart. And so I just want to encourage you all to sit with your partner and just be like, yo, where are you at right now? Where are we at? What are your ideas? What are your thoughts? What are my ideas? What are my thoughts? And, why do you think that way? What are things we agree on and what are things we disagree on? And why do we disagree on them? Let's try to kind of bring them closer to the middle. We don't have to agree on the same stuff, but let's build the understanding. you know, so that we can keep up with each other, so that I don't begin to lose my respect for where you're going and you lose your respect for what I'm doing. You know, like there's a lot of relationships where someone has a dream they want to fulfill, but the other mate might be like, oh, I don't want you to do that, because in their mind they're like, let's say I got a mate and I want to be a rapper, and my mate is a doctor, and she's like, that rap stuff is stupid. The minute she says that, that's really bad, because she's missing what music means to me. You know, we can't just assume that what I'm doing is more important than what you're doing. If I'm doing it, understand why I'm doing it. And the more that you can understand why I value it, the closer our relationship is on the same accord, the more we can build together. Okay? So let's begin to build an understanding for one another and what we're all trying to do. Because what we're all doing is special. But the problem is, it's not special to the person you want it to be special to. You know, you value your product and you want to sell it, but other people don't see the value of it. So they're not going to understand the value of what you're offering until you help them understand it. So that's what we all got to do. You know, if you truly value yourself, if you truly value what you're doing, I want you to understand the power of it. And then you got to educate the people around you about how powerful it is, or else they're going to be missing the value. You know, there's nothing worse than, imagine if somebody had a cure for, and somebody already does. This is a great example. There's people with cures for AIDS. There's people with cures for cancer. There's people with cures for all type of stuff. But ain't nobody believe them, and don't nobody care, because they just gonna keep going to the doctor. So it doesn't matter, because the people aren't educated enough to accept that there might be a cure outside of what the news tells them, right? So open your mind and make sure the people around you have an open mind, and especially your mate. And I know it's hard if you're already with a mate whose mind is closed, so you can't like just change it. But if that's the case, man, you got to be willing to put yourself first and be like, look, if you're not willing to open your mind, there's gonna be a problem, because I'm not gonna subject myself to closing my mind. I'm not gonna close my mind because your mind is closed. I'm gonna keep my mind open, and hopefully you can open yours up, you know? So, you know, that's essentially really what I want to say, because I don't want my phone to die when I'm talking to y'all. My phone's battery is low, so I got to charge it. But look, here's my point. Understand your worth. Let me say that again. Don't lower your value, or don't view your value as less because they don't understand it. That's going backwards. Don't lower your perspective of what you're doing because they don't get it. No, that's not a reflection of you. That's a reflection of them. They just haven't risen up to see it. So here's what you do. You keep showing it, and if they don't get it, you let them know. You don't budge. You let it look, well, this is what I'm doing, and to me, this is what it means to me. And if you don't get it, oh well, because somebody else gonna get it. And everybody knows, you let your mate slip. As much as you might not care about your mate, you slip up, somebody else gonna snatch her up or snatch him up. You know what I mean? So that's my message to y'all. Get ready. I have a product called Loving the 5D that's going to be coming out, and it's, man, this is finally what I get to lay out everything about relationships that you need to know to really win in relationships. The formula I give you in this that in Loving the 5D, which is going to be coming out soon, is going to literally put you in a position where you have like a stable way to not let those beautiful relationships slip away. We have too many good men and good women that aren't able to stay together because they don't understand certain principles, and that causes them to dissolve the relationship, and then they end up with lower level people, or people that aren't as good for them, because, you know, people are missing certain little things and tricks to keep things together. So that's going to be there. If you want personal coaching, man, let me know. You got to invest in yourself. You know, I really don't care. I know this stuff already, so it doesn't matter to me, but I invest in what I don't know. Invest in yourself. But, you know, you're investing in your rent, and that's not even an investment. It's just money gone. Invest in yourself, man, because the knowledge you gain is going to stay with you. It's going to stay with you. I tell you, a rich man might lose all his money, but he's going to be rich again because he already knows, because he's rich. It's not the money that makes him rich. It's his mentality that makes him rich. Even if you use an example like Donald Trump, he went bankrupt how many times? Now he the president. He went broke, but he knew he was going to get his money back because he's already on the frequency of money. So you got to get to the frequency, and you always going to have what you want. So you got to invest so that you can get to that frequency. Okay? Straight up. So thank you all for listening. I'm going to keep bringing this game. I'm going to keep dropping these gems. I'm going to keep giving this truth because that's what I do. Peace.